If you have trouble to focus even on the simplest tasks and you feel like your memory is getting worse and you are even less creative than you used to be, writing into a notebook actually might be the solution to your problem. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 ways a notebook can actually save your mind from brain rot. Let's get into it. Number 1, prioritizing your thoughts over someone else's. Now, we live in a world where we are constantly bombarding ourselves with information and other people's thoughts, basically. The first thing we do in the morning is we look at our phones, we are exposing ourselves to the news, to messages of other people, to what is happening on social media, and we have very little time to think for ourselves. So we basically lose the ability to think for ourselves. If you don't use it, you lose it, right? And that's not only true for muscle mass, it's also true for your ability to perform certain mental tasks. Now, sitting down with a pen and a notebook actually is the entire opposite. You're giving yourself the time to think and to come up with your own thoughts before someone else can intervene. And that's an incredibly important skill that is getting more scarce in the age of AI, where people are basically externalizing their thinking to machinery, and through that kind of losing the ability to think for themselves. So I really want to urge you to prioritize your thoughts over someone else's. And I think one of the best ways to do this is to sit down with a pen and a notebook and to think on paper. Journal, solve problems on there, write a diary. There's so many ways to do this. That way, you'll maintain your ability to think critically and to come up with original thoughts that are not basically recycled thoughts of someone else. Number 2, building your attention span. Now, one side product of our modern way of living, especially with smartphones all around, is that our attention spans are shrinking. More and more people have trouble to focus on one task at a time for more than a couple of seconds. And that obviously can be pretty problematic. So journaling can be a great counter to that. Just because it requires you to focus for longer periods of time, it's also proven to just be good for your brain in general. And there are many more benefits like improved memory, reduced stress, more control over your life, and so on and so forth. Journaling basically is a nice little workout for your mind, and it will ultimately save your mind from decay. Number 3, creativity. Now, the way most people think nowadays is a pretty passive one. We are constantly taking in. We are not creating, we are consuming. But we human beings are actually creative creatures, right? We want to build, we want to create, and it's a huge part of our identity. However, most people nowadays are not creative in any way, and they're kind of suppressing their ability to be creative by the constant digital stimulation they are exposing themselves to. So by giving yourself the time to sit down with a pen and a notebook, you're actually not only training your mind and giving yourself the time to think for yourself, but also this is your perfect chance to be creative. Creativity is not only about art, it's also about solving problems in your life. And this is what ultimately journaling and writing into a notebook is for me. Whenever I feel like something is wrong in my life or I need to change something, the best way to go about that for me is to sit down with my notebook and to solve the problem on the page, because that way I'm usually the most creative. I have the time to think for myself. I have the time to come up with new things, and I'm ultimately giving me the chance to improve my life. So I want to challenge you to take this time for yourself. Give yourself the chance to think and to take care of your brain, basically. I think this is one of the most valuable things you can do for yourself and for your personal development. Now, I hope this was helpful. If you also want to know how a notebook can actually help you to overcome your phone addiction, I made this video for you. I hope you are having a nice day, and maybe I'll see you soon. Goodbye.